Shalom everybody and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane, up close and personal. I know a video like this is not professional, it has to be in the other angle and you have to be further away. But you see, I like you to be up close and personal so you can see my eyes and feel my heart in the things that I'm sharing to you. January 27 is marked as the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. This was the day where Russian troops liberated the concentration camp Auschwitz. This is the day where world leaders can come together, sign books, and say never again. The horror of the Holocaust is something we will never ever in our entire lifetime be able to comprehend, to understand, or to fathom. Holocaust survivors are still living in the world today, but every day some of them are dying, and every time the story is dying with them. It's so easy to say never again. All of these leaders are saying never again. They are having events, but at the same time, they are condemning Jews for being alive and living in their God-given homelands, coming out of the ashes of the Holocaust and now living in their own homelands. So with one hand, leaders in the world are saying never again, but every time, for instance, in the United Nations, they are coming together and there is something regarding Israel, it's always condemnation, condemnation, condemnation. There has been more resolutions passed against Israel than any other nation ever. So what are you doing about it when you say never again, but at the same time Jews are being murdered in the streets, shot, stabbed, hacked with machetes, hacked with axes? Jewish people are being condemned, their houses are being torn down if they are building in Judea and Samaria, because the world can say never again, because the Holocaust, well, we can at least agree that was horrible. But the people who survived the hell of Holocaust, their grandchildren and great-grandchildren are now defending the Jewish homelands in the Israeli army, defending the Jewish people. But those Jews we can condemn if they are building in Judea and Samaria. Those Jews we can say, oh, but you're occupying your own country. Oh, but we are staying quiet when you are being slaughtered in the street. What a bunch of hypocrites. Of course, it's good that on a day like today, when we mark the International Holocaust Memorial Day, that there is an exhibition in the United Nations of the Holocaust. And I truly hope as many members of the United Nations goes, and maybe that will open their eyes. There's a lot going on here in Israel. So on this day, what happened? The Israeli Air Force had to get up in the sky, maybe even grandchildren of Holocaust survivors, maybe being a pilot today in the Israeli Air Force. On Holocaust Memorial Day, they have to go in the sky and bomb in Gaza. Why? Because they were firing rockets into Israel. Last night, on Holocaust Memorial Day, the Jewish people were being attacked by terrorists in the Gaza Strip, sending none less than 7 rockets towards Israel. And the IDF went in and they targeted an underground weapon manufacturing site and also a military camp belonging to Hamas. On Holocaust Day, Israel is being attacked by rockets fired by terrorists in the Gaza Strip. Yesterday, Israeli special forces went into Jenin. Terrorists inside Jenin had carried out several terrorist attacks, and the intelligence agencies here in Israel has credible intel that a certain terrorist cell was imminent in carrying out, they were just on the threshold of carrying out another major terror attack. So these special forces, they went into Jenin to arrest, just to go in and arrest and take them in. But they know that inside Jenin, there are hundreds and hundreds of terrorists in military uniforms, armed to the teeth, attacking them when they go in. So they have to go in wearing all the gear and with weapons. So what happened? As they entered Jenin yesterday, terrorists on roofs started firing at them, which I have shared videos, and we have seen videos coming out of all of these terrorists starting attacking, firing at the Israeli Defense Forces. Of course, they respond, and several of these terrorists was taken out, or I think one of them also surrendered. And reports are coming out that there was civilian casualties. I think it was one lady, which is always tragic. But you start firing on our troops, then there is a gun battle, and then sometimes, unfortunately, civilian casualties. So that's what happened yesterday. So everything is up in arms right now. These were members of Islamic Jihad, the terror organization Islamic Jihad, who is in charge in Jenin. Mahmoud Abbas, terrorist in a suit, who has now been the president of the Palestinian for 19 years. He was elected for 4, but he's suppressing his own people. He's not allowing to have an election because he knows he's not going to be elected. Was out calling in 3 days of mourning, condemning all of this. Again, what do the Palestinians do? They always run crying and complaining to the European Union and also to the United Nations. So now they're going to meet regarding the escalation in Jenin. What happened? A major terror attack was being planned to murder as many Israelis as possible. Is that what their world leaders are condemning? Is that what they are coming out against? No. The casualties, the aggression from the Israeli military. When all they did was preventing another mass casualty, another heinous terror attack carried out in Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces, Israel has every right to defend herself and her people against all of these terrorists who is scheming and plotting terrorist attack every single day. So again, on Holocaust Memorial Day, rockets was raining in from Gaza, and bomb shelters was once again open, and Israelis had to run for their lives sitting in bomb shelter on that one day where the world is saying never again. Are they out now, these same politicians, condemning these terrorists, saying we are also standing with the Jewish people today? They are running for their lives. Enough? No. All the time Israel is being asked to show restraints. What a bunch of hypocrites. What a bunch of hypocrites. Some people said, if you would have, the people doing something for Israel today is the one who would have done something when the Holocaust was taking place. So there's a lot going on here in Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces actually got a new boss. There's a new chief of staff for the Israeli Defense Forces. America and Israel just had the biggest drill ever, joint drill to show forces, to train together, probably because an attack on Iran might not be that far out in the future. Or at least they are joining fronts to show Iran, here, we are drawing a line in the sand. So that huge, massive drill just come to an end. The Israeli Defense Forces had a drill up north, preparing for escalation. One day when they know that there's going to be some sort of a war with Hezbollah, who has 100,000 rockets pointing towards Israel. What else happened? Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went to Jordan and met with the king in Jordan about the tensions and the Temple Mount and everything happening here. So there is a lot going on in Israel. So today I say never again. I have literally tried to the best of my ability to stand with the Jewish people, just being one little voice speaking up for the truth when I see how mainstream media is so inaccurate regarding what's happening in Israel. Just look what happened, what's being told about Israel just murdering innocent civilians in Jenin, when this was a terrorist cell who had already committed terrorism and was plotting a big terror attacks. and they go in and they just want to arrest them, and they are being attacked with heavy gunfire, and then there are casualties. So that is what's going on, and that's the truth. Every time they go into Jenin, they are being attacked full force. So I will continue to say never again. I will continue to do the best that I can, speaking up for Israel. The Prime Minister also just released a message now on this day, and warning Iran and saying we are back, we are home, in our own God-given homeland. There will not be another Holocaust, and we will defend our people and do what's necessary. But yet Jewish people are still being murdered today because world leaders and the world bought into the audacious lie of the Jewish people who came out of the ashes, fulfilling prophecies, coming back to their God-given homeland, is now occupying that land. How can you be that naive and dumb? Open a history book. Simply open a history book and don't believe the Palestinian lies and propaganda. So I will do, like I said, the best of my ability to keep speaking up for Israel, like I have been doing for so many years. I have been a little bit quiet, but we have entered a new year, and I have been quiet because I just moved for the 5th time in a year. It took a toll on my body. I needed to just breathe, while at the same time I need to settle and get the things that I needed in this home. I started swimming again and some water therapy for my injuries on my body. And then I am also quiet because I'm saying, God, me just standing here speaking to a broken phone, it's just not enough anymore. So I'm praying and seeking God, what's next for me in Jerusalem, Jane, moving forward, needing more equipment. I need co-workers. So I'm really in a time now where I'm saying, God, how to move forward to be even better and to reach more people and to get more news out there, because I can definitely see, and that's what you're writing to me. Someone wrote the other day, there's no one like you, and it actually brought tears to my eyes because I feel guilty of having been a little bit quiet. I also want to say that I am starting to plan for me to make a trip to Auschwitz. As the world has a youth today where many people don't know about the Holocaust, a lot of young people today, they don't even believe that it's happening. I have Arabs writing to me personally and on my social media, they glorify Hitler, and they write to me saying, we are going to finish what Hitler didn't. We are going to finish what the Nazis started, and glorifying the Holocaust. So I am trying to slowly start and organize a trip for me to go to Auschwitz later this year. Hopefully I will be able to get the funds to go, to bring a cameraman and be allowed to film. I know it's going to be deeply impacting and moving for me, but I think it's necessary, also for me and for my understanding for this nation and connection to the Jewish people, to go and really share the truth to a world where more people are denying the Holocaust and denying the Jewish people's right to even be here in their God-given homelands. So that's what's on my schedule or my calendar for later this year, that I really hope that I will manage to pull things together and go and make reporting from Auschwitz. So on this day, all I can do, say from my heart and my home, never again. We honor, I'm getting emotional, and we remember. But talk is cheap, because what are we doing about it today? How are we standing with Israel today? You might not agree with everything politically. It doesn't change the fact that this is the Jewish homeland, and 6 million Jews was eradicated in the Holocaust, put into the gas chambers. Horror we can't even fathom. And now, when their descendants are living here in Israel, they should be happy and safe and live a regular life like the rest of us, not fearing another terror attack, just going down the streets waiting for the bus or being in a supermarket. But that's the reality today. So we can do better in standing up for Israel, speaking up for Israel, coming against the lies of occupation, coming against the lies of apartheid, and say, you know what, we open history books. At least the rest of the world, when we go to school, we have regular history books and not the Palestinian propaganda books talking about apartheid and occupation. You cannot occupy what you own. So again, this was just Jerusalem Jane speaking a little bit from my heart to all of you here on Holocaust Memorial Day. It's also Friday, so I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom while the security situation here is high. There's a heightened alert. We don't know if more rockets are going to come. The terrorist organizations are meeting and they're promising more resistance, which means more terror attacks. So everything is on high alert. So keep praying for us, okay? Speak up, stand for Israel, pray for us. And if you have booked a ticket, come, come, come. Never ever stay away. I keep saying when people are asking me, is it safe to come to Israel? Absolutely, it's safe and you will love it, you will enjoy it, it will transform your life, and come and see reality. Come and see reality so you can go home and you can come against the lies of occupation and apartheid, because it doesn't exist in Israel. So have a blessed Shabbat. Today on International Holocaust Remember, I'm sending all my love, support, encouragement and prayers to the Jewish people here in Israel and around the world. I love you, I encourage you. It's been my privilege and my honor to share news out of this amazing nation for so many years. And like I said, I'm looking into how to take the next step so I can do better in my work for Israel. Shabbat Shalom. Bye.